Hello and welcome to another episode of Scott Reads Comics. Today I'll be covering Avengers 255, published in 1985 by Marvel Comics. Ooh, this is a great one. I love this Tom Palmer painted cover. Of course, we have the classic corner box with the John Byrne floating heads. And since this is a direct edition, instead of the barcode, we have the Avengers logo in the left corner. Lower left corner. I picked this one up for 50 cents at the New Dimension Comics end of year sale that is going on from now, the day of filming here. Today is December 12th through the end of the year, and all 6 Pittsburgh area locations of New Dimension Comics, all of their dollar books are 50 cents, which is pretty awesome. I'll be picking up a slew of these 50-cent books. Many of them are going to make their way into little free public libraries as I read them, cover some of them on the show. This one is remaining in my collection because I am righting a wrong of some years ago where I somehow got rid of this issue along with a bunch of other comics. But now I have it back, and it is amazing. So let's go through it. So glad you could join me today for this one. We can see our credits: Roger Stern, John Buscema penciler, Tom Palmer inker, Jim Novak letterer, Christy Shield colorist, Mark Grunwald editor, Jim Shooter editor-in-chief. So let's note again that art team: John Buscema, Tom Palmer. So sometime after George Perez left the Avengers, shortly after the disastrous issue 200, which I have covered on this show, and the follow-up Avengers Annual number 10, which is the correction of that horrible story. Avengers kind of went into a down period before Roger Stern got there. Jim Shooter was still writing, and there were some strange stories. You had the Yellow Jacket fiasco around 212 to 217. There were just, and it was kind of a dark period for Avengers, and the art team fluctuated. Bob Hall did some stuff. There was a weak Gene Colan run, and I like Gene Colan, but his stuff just didn't fit Avengers at that time. Then Al Milgrom came on, and Roger Stern came on as the writer in the 220s, and Al Milgrom and Joe Sinnott kind of stabilized the book, along with the incredible stewardship of Roger Stern as the writer. And Roger Stern would continue with this issue, his long tenure on the book, but this is the issue 255 where we get John Buscema and Tom Palmer back on the book after many decades in the past when they had their long run in the late 60s, early 70s on Avengers. So they're back now. Buscema, a much more grizzled professional at this point than he was back then. Even then, he had still had a lot of time in the business, but this is magnificent. Our title is The Legacy of Thanos. So Captain Marvel is in deep space. She was sent there by the Vision to sort of get rid of her while he did the absolute Vision plan that he had to take over the world in order to save it. Of course, he was affected by hooking up with the computer, the sentient computer Isaac from Titan, the Titanian Eternals sentient computer. Anyway, that storyline had resolved, but poor Captain Marvel, still in deep space, checking out Thanos' ship, his massive world ship, Sanctuary 2. And it was a wild goose chase the Vision sent her on to get rid of her, but here she is nonetheless. She's going to run right into the thick of some pretty interesting plots. And so and we can see immediately too just the difference in the art. I loved the Al Milgrom, Joe Sinnott run on Avengers. It was solid. Okay, it was workmanlike. This is great. This is awesome. And so no shade on Al Milgrom and Joe Sinnott, but this is just a level better than what they were doing. And so the Avengers over the next couple of years are just going to look amazing. Here we have the Avengers security chief, the new guy, Sikorsky. He, of course, replaced the hated Henry Peter Gyrick and he's a little bit more friendly to the Avengers. Of course, he's trying to deal with the fallout of the Vision, and who was a member of the Avengers when he tried his plot, taking over the whole world. We were locked out of our own computers at Cheyenne Mountain today, thanks to interference sent down a supposedly secure line by these Avengers. Calm down, Peabody. Calm down? If the Soviets had launched an attack, we wouldn't have been able to do a blasted thing. So it goes on. Sikorsky's trying to run interference for the Avengers, and there's still going to be some fallout. And Hercules is still in a makeshift outfit here because he was fighting the Blood Brothers back in 252, I believe, and actually had his pants knocked off in that super brawl. It was pretty funny. That was actually some pretty good artwork by Bob Hall in that one too. And we have a mix here. We have Wonder Man from the West Coast Avengers is here. So the Avengers are again dealing with the fallout of the Vision. We have a reprise of what happened. I plugged my synthetic mind into the worldwide network I'd set up in secret, and for a few hours I actually controlled the world's nuclear arsenals. But spread throughout the Earth's many computers, my consciousness began to dissipate. I would have ceased to be had Wonder Man not found me in time. Only after you had restored my mind to my body was I able to bring the nightmare to an end. In my computer mind state, I had become aware of the root of my madness, a control crystal implanted in my brain by Ultron during my creation, a crystal which had become flawed, warping my ability to reason. I finally had to use my body's power over my form and pluck out that crystal like an offending eye. So we get an explanation. Vision's going to get off the hook here. He's not going to suffer any permanent consequences. He and the Scarlet Witch, of course, are going to leave the Avengers. By rights, this gavel should go back to the Wasp. After all, I did manipulate her into giving it up. Until she returns, I can think of no better person to wield it. So Cap is once again, temporarily at least, in charge. And, of course, they realize they have to call Captain Marvel back. I beg your pardon. There was never any signal, Captain. I misled you. It was all part of a very foolish plan, you see. You sent everyone away from the mansion on fool's errands, so none of us could interfere with your computer takeover? Regrettably, I did. With your ability to travel at light speed, I had to send you a great deal farther than the others. I hope you will forgive me. Forgive you? Well, so Captain America kind of tries to smooth things over here. I thought the Vision had been acting strangely, but I never dreamed he would try anything as crazy as trying to take over the world. So here, while Captain Marvel thinks she's alone, we get a great message here, the great bit of storytelling here, vessel docking, section C. So it turns out she is not going to be alone here. And again, just the simple storytelling, the layouts, everything is just better with Buscema. He's just such a master. And now we get some action. We're not alone here. Maybe I should wait for the others, but this opportunity is too good to pass up. What? Scunge the killer troll claims yet another victim? Sorry to disappoint you, Short Stuff, but I am no one's victim. Short Stuff, that does it. I was going to go easy on you, but nobody makes fun of my stature and gets away with it. Eat blaster, girly. So, again, masterful use of the open panels here by Buscema through this page. Look at it, almost tracing a diagonal line. He realizes he cannot hurt Captain Marvel. And incidentally, I think it's great for continuity that Stern makes this character the same race as Pip the Troll from the classic Starlin Warlock stories. And of course, this is where it all took place, that final climactic showdown against Thanos in that incredible Starlin run of Warlock stories. I would have to stumble across a dematerializing dame. Can't you take a joke? Oh, nerds, she flies too. So, Captain Marvel, easily the most powerful Avenger if you think about it, outmaneuvers this space thug, takes his blaster. You are a fast one, aren't you? Yes, I am. And I don't like being grabbed or shot at. What are you doing here? And who's this Kel? You're about to find out, Toots. Oh, I love this character design here. I don't know if we ever see Kel again, except maybe in the next couple of issues. But he, of course, looks like the Thing in his somewhat mutated form, but different enough. And I'm just a sucker for the strong arm, the brick characters like this, and so he looks just totally great, drawn here by Buscema. Let go, my friend. Oh my God. I am no god, I am a Tarian. Mountains tremble at my approach. Watch your step, big guy. She can turn herself into light. I can do a lot more than that. Your hide looks pretty tough, but can they handle a little electricity? So she shocks the crap out of him, and I love this crackle that Buscema and Palmer do here. What a team these two are. Lightning. She turned into lightning. He's even tougher than I thought. I just barely stunned him. Kel, she's turning physical again. Get her, hurry. Another fantastic open panel here. These two. There's no border here, but it doesn't matter. The way the storytelling is masterfully constructed, it just works. Better not try, Kel. Back off or be sorry. Oh, I love the knockback here into this high-tech console. I don't believe it. She blasted him right through a bulkhead. Is there anything she can't do? Enough. You'd maybe look foolish in front of my little buddy. I swear on the remains of my homeworld that I shall make you pay for that. You know, I haven't really thought about it until now, but I would love a comic with the space pirates that Captain Marvel runs into in this storyline. They're just awesome, and it would be so cool. Set in this era, of course. No, you will not. You will cease this wasteful expenditure of energy this moment. Is that clear, Kel? Yes, Gunthar, at once. I'll turn off your mind thrust, please. So we have a Regellian here, and then this guy here, I believe, is a Kree. I do hope you will forgive this unfortunate incident, my dear lady. My associates and I have been wandering space so long, and, well, we were under the impression that this vessel had once belonged to the mad god Thanos. I know that hardly excuses Kel's and Skunge's behavior, but I'm sure you can understand how they overreacted upon finding another being here. And they do apologize, don't you, boys? Yes, please forgive me. Very good. You may get up now. And you, Skunge? Yeah, I'm sorry, lady, really. But I should complete our introductions. Skunge and Kel you've met, and I'm called Levin, and this is my good friend Gunthar. I'm Captain Marvel of Earth's Avengers. Gunthar, you're a Regellian, aren't you? Why, yes, you've met my people? A teammate of mine has, Thor of Asgard. He's spoken highly of the colonizers of Rigel. Anyway, this is Thanos' starship, but what are you doing here? So, of course, they have a very sinister purpose, but they're going to hand her a line. Meanwhile, back on Earth, we're going to catch up a little bit with the Wasp. $9.30 taxi ride here is probably a lot more these days. Haven't been to New York in a while, so I can't say for certain, but I'm sure it's a lot more to get from Midtown to Avengers Mansion. And the Wasp encounters these two characters whom she easily avoids. This is a time, too, as the Wasp emerges from her marriage, her divorce from Hank Pym finalized. She is now the leader of the Avengers, and she's been that way for 15 or 20 issues. And she's just extremely assertive, powerful, and capable. And it's very cool the way Roger Stern has developed her over this time. Of course, Vision has to come clean to the Wasp, too, about what happened. And she is shocked, disappointed, but ultimately she loves Wanda and the Vision as friends, and so things will be smoothed out. Vision, all the help in the world wouldn't have done any good if you hadn't already started to come to your senses. Down deep, you were fighting to hang on to your humanity, and in the end, you came back to us. So Cap, very forgiving, very understanding, but Vision is hard on himself, and He and the Scarlet Witch choose a self-imposed leave of absence. And it looks like they are going to have to be debriefed by the government, too. Having second thoughts, dear, I have no idea how long we could be tied up in debriefing. I don't care if we're there through the next 3 administrations, really. I wonder if the government realizes what it's letting itself in for. So the Vision's still managing his sense of humor. And the Avengers are kind of talking it over here. He has changed, Jen. That crystal always kept him from realizing his full potential. He doesn't have it holding him back anymore. Looking at it in that light, it does seem that some good has come out of all this. The Vision was tempted by the excesses of ego, saw their dangerous potential, and overcame them, accepting responsibility for his actions and emerging all the stronger. In a way, you might say that he has finally come of age. And this is really cool, but also looking forward to see what happens to the Vision under John Byrne in Avengers West Coast. Kind of sad because he had reached this incredible point of happiness with the Scarlet Witch. They eventually actually are able to have children, and then it all comes undone. But that's the story for another day. At that moment, nearly 5 billion miles away, you've been a great help already, Captain. This navigation station should allow me to recalibrate our equipment without too much trouble. Excellent, Gunther. I'm opening a relay circuit to our craft. You can transmit at any time. So Captain Marvel kind of taken in by these space thugs. Transmit at any time, huh? That's just what I wanted to hear. Time to put this little memory board to use. Plugging it in here should do the trick. What's he up to? No good, I'll bet. But it won't take anything close to top speed to stop him. She took the bait. Now we can act. What? That strange tingling. I've turned human again, against my will. I don't know what's going on here, but you'd better have some answers for me. Please don't do that, Captain. Threatening any of us would be most unwise. So they've sprung their trap. Your weapons can't hurt me. When you're in energy state, no. But you see, we just activated Sanctuary 2's hyperspace drive. That's what jolted you back to normal. Tricky things, hyperjumps. I dare say that this one left your body too disrupted to change for several minutes at least. Now you can let Skunge go, or you can prove me wrong. I swear you'll regret this, Levin. Perhaps, but in the meantime, it would be best if you listened to our offer. Offer? We're part of a mercenary force, Captain. Someone with your talents could go far in our organization. Why, I'd sooner blow this ship to smithereens. You don't really want to do that. Our hyperjump took us to another galaxy, and even with your considerable powers, I doubt very much that you're prepared to spend a few million years trying to find your way home. Look at this sinister visage here in this second to last panel. Another open panel, I might add. Totally awesome. This guy, Levin, is a real scoundrel. Next issue, This Power Unleashed. So really cool. What a great first issue for John Buscema. And let's read his welcome in the Avengers Assemble letter page. Before we dive into this month's Mountain of Mail, we'd like to take a moment to welcome John Buscema and Tom Palmer back to the Mighty Avengers. Though not seen together in these pages since way back in issue 97, when they helped wrap up the legendary Kree-Skrull War, John and Tom have both been setting standards for visual excitement at the House of Ideas for over a decade. And after seeing what they've turned in for this issue, well, let's just say that we're as excited as you are. And if you think this is something, just wait until next issue. And indeed, it just gets better. So, quick perusal of the letters page. No notable letter writers here, so we won't dally too long. And we'll just take another quick gander at this magnificent Tom Palmer painted cover. Really great issue, Avengers 255, the beginning of a spectacular run of excellence on this title that would take us almost all the way to issue 300. And all thanks to Roger Stern, John Buscema, and Tom Palmer. Just great stuff. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe. tell your friends. I'll bring you more soon on Scott Reads Comics. Thanks for watching.